Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Around the Creek podcast. As always, I'm Elijah.
I'm Aiden.
And I'm Owen.
Today we're talking about the
Today-
episode. Today we're talking about the episode of Fairytale. Fairy tales?
Fairytale?
Fairytale.
Why are we
Do you
always
believe-
like hung up on the plural or singular term in
No,
an
no,
episode?
no.
It's an
like,
important
is it
factor.
hotels, dirts,
No,
sleepy
dirts.
times, sleepy times?
Sleepy
Question
times.
mark.
Sleepy times?
Who
Several
knows?
Spooky
people?
kisses?
Spooky kisses.
Family meetings? No, let me ask the real question.
Faces.
Do you believe in fairy tales?
No,
Some of them.
I don't. Because most of them aren't meant to sound real.
That's
like the
true.
one at the very beginning, Hansel and Gretel. That is a
Yeah.
that's a
Hansel and Gretel.
crazy fairy tale. In fact, when you really think about it, a lot of the fairy tales are like really morbid
Dark?
and
Dark
scary.
and morbid.
Yeah,
They have roots in much darker things. Yeah.
it's like,
We're
do this
"Haha,
or you
children,
will die.
This woman wants to eat children, but yeah.
Run away. Just be smarter and then you won't die. Great start to the episode.
Yeah, really.
Anyways,
Of course, how we always start.
apologies for the 2 break period. I know
Yeah.
it's very
Mhm.
depressing when we don't upload always. I know it's
Oh, yeah.
Life
It's a real
happens.
tragedy. It's a real tragedy, but stuff happens. Life happens, also known as Aiden goes somewhere and doesn't tell us about it. And
Okay,
then-
it was kind of impromptu.
So what is this episode about?
So in this episode, we come in to Bandit finishing up Hansel and Gretel.
Hmm
Girls are getting ready for sleep, and the question comes up: are fairy tales real?
Yeah, and that's the part where the dad's like, how do I get out of this one? And he does it pretty well by saying, like, it's like, well, do you think they're real? And it's like, and they all like have lessons and stuff. What does he say?
No, he says that the stories aren't real, but the lessons are.
Yeah, okay, the stories aren't real, but the lessons are true. Which
Like,
is
you
a great,
shouldn't like you
like,
should
a-
be greedy and stuff.
Which is a great way to describe
Exactly.
Bluey.
true.
That is true.
The stories
That is
aren't
true.
real, but
Like,
goodness, the
stories are
lessons
kind of
are.
realistic,
Realistic,
The-
yes, but not real.
The stories are
other than the dog people.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put the dog people with real people, and it would not be as popular as it is, obviously. But it would also be more. It would be just real life.
Pretty much. It'd be like a
Um,
sitcom, actually. Probably more like.
So, yeah. After Bandit says that, he says, "Do you guys want to hear a real fairy tale about that has a princess in it, an evil brother who ends up good, and something else,
And a curse.
and a curse?" That's what it was. So then we get our title card, and it's fairy tale.
With the
Bingo.
flip flops.
Wait,
Who does say
Bingo?
the? Who does say
Bingo?
the title
Apparently,
card? Really?
I didn't realize that.
Bandit should have said the title card.
It should have
It
been like
should
Young Bandit.
it should have been Young Bandit, yeah, I was about to say.
It should have been Young Bandit.
Or even like Young Stripe or Young Radley. Just like one of the.
Bandit's- I don't think Bandit's ever done the title card.
I feel-
yet.
Wait, you might be right. You might be right, yeah.
Chili's done it twice. Or actually only once. And
Yeah, I
think
don't recall Bandit ever doing a title card.
No.
Wow, really?
Radley did it, but Bandit.
Radley did
Why
before
has Bandit
Bandit.
not done the title card?
Maybe he
Bluey,
has.
Bluey team, get on that.
Also,
I
Bandit
think-
has like one of the best voices in the show. Like
I
it's so
feel like
iconic.
I feel like he has, but maybe
He hasn't. I'm like, I would remember that.
No,
You
I don't think he has. I think you're right. I mean, we may be completely incorrect, but I don't think he's ever.
No, it's strange.
I mean, Bandit has been like the main focus in a lot of episodes, except this one.
Mhm.
Like this is an episode where yes, the emphasis is clearly like on Bandit, especially like him being younger
Yeah.
and like
I was actually really yeah. I gotta get it. We gotta get into that. But
hmm
I mean, Bandit's never been like the main focus. He's a big part of the episodes, but he's never been the main focus up until like this point,
Yeah, I
really.
guess so.
So
Yeah,
that
this is like
makes kind of sense. I don't
yeah,
know.
this is kind of his episode. I'm not sure if there is an episode which is mainly
This
focused
is
on
pretty much his
Bandit.
episode, yeah.
I mean, maybe like Duck Cake, but not
Duck Cake is
really.
Duck
pretty
Cake
good.
did kind of focus on Bandit a bit more. It
Yeah.
took like a different side to Bandit that we didn't see before.
Also,
That was a big episode
which
of like
one?
why I started watching Bluey.
Yeah. A cafe also a little.
Oh, Cafe, 100%. It was Cafe. It was Duck Cake. It was and Barky Boats. Oh, Barky Boats and the Quiet Game
He wasn't
were like
in
the
Barky
nails in the
Boat.
coffin.
He was not.
Oh
in
no, I
Breaking
thought we were
Bad.
talking about like
Oh
episodes
no,
that brought me
no.
into. Oh, my bad. My
No,
bad.
no. We're talking about episodes where
I'm
Bandit
thinking about
was
the
like
wrong
the main
thing.
part.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
There's
let's
a little
talk
bit of
about this
overlap there.
episode.
Yes, let's talk about this episode because oh my
Yes, we will
gosh, this
get-
is a beautiful episode.
So
Absolutely.
after the title card, Bandit starts setting up our scene. So it cuts to a beach resort, with like a lot of camping.
Not exactly camping, but just like beach going. You
It's
know, like
a
the stuff you'd
camping,
see on the beach.
beaching
It's like a
Yeah.
place
area.
you go to for the summer.
Like
Like a
you bring your
cabin.
trailer. You know, you hook up your
like a
trailer and you go
trailer
out.
park.
Yeah,
That's what I meant to say. Trailer
yeah, like a
park.
trailer park almost.
It is because it's a trailer park. And we see this, and Bandit says this story is set a long time ago in a place. This was my favorite part,
Yeah.
called the
The-
80s.
The
And then we
magical
get some
80s.
boss
And
music.
then we get some amazing music, and
I
we
know,
see
the music
It's
is
Bandit
just some
riding.
boss music.
Yeah,
some boss
and we
music.
see 10-year-old Bandit riding a bike, and he has a mullet.
He looks so good with a
He
mullet. Oh my
rocks
God.
that mullet. Oh my goodness.
He does rock that mullet.
It's just that all the characters look better when they're more like scruffy kind
Yeah, I
of.
really
Yeah.
like when there's like a bit of
When they're not
like-
just rectangles.
Bluey's never looked better than in
Rain.
Rain. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rain.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He's so cute.
And then the camera pulls back and shows off Stripe and Red.
Hell yeah.
And this is when we learn, which I honestly didn't know or think about, that Radley's the oldest.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Bandit's
something that
the
a lot of
middle.
people were.
What do you think?
surprised
What age
about.
do you think he is?
I-
In this episode, because we know
I think
Bandit's
he's
like 10,
11. I think
I'd
he's
say
probably
maybe
like
12.
12.
probably
I
like
think.
12, maybe even 13. I go far as
Stripe
say
is
like
probably
maybe
like
13.
Stripe is probably 9 or also 10. Just
Stripe might be like
younger.
7 or 8, honestly.
He's
He
7
looks-
or 8.
he looks a
there's
lot
pretty
tinier.
significant. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say there's a pretty significant size difference.
Like he's definitely old enough that he's like not like a babbling 3-year-old, but like
well, hold on. When you say size difference, that doesn't really work because I have a brother. He's 20. I'm taller than him.
no, but I
Okay,
mean
this
just
is
like
Bluey.
I mean
Yeah,
just like
exactly,
if you
this
look at
is
it, you can
Bluey.
just see like not just like the size, but just like how he kind of it's hard to explain, but how he kind of acts and looks and just all of it kind of put together.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, it's the voice too.
Yeah,
That
the
is
voice
true,
as
yeah,
well.
his voice
Whereas
is also
Radley
pretty
has
low.
like, his voice is cracking, so you can definitely tell he's a bit older and like
Yeah.
his voice is
Is
starting to
Bandit-
deepen.
Yeah, is Bandit really 10 years old in this? He sounds
Yeah.
like he's starting to
Yep.
go through puberty, kind of.
Well, some people start young.
Yeah.
Except Radley really sounds like he's going through puberty.
Oh yeah.
especially
Well,
with the
it's
voice
implied
cracks and
because
stuff.
the voice there's like a voice crack
yeah,
at one
yeah,
point. Yeah.
yeah.
And then Bluey's like, "Hang on, where's your helmet?" And then
This
we
is
get
the
the line of the
80s.
episode. This was the 80s, man. There were no helmets. It was a wild place.
And then we get amazing montage about all the stuff in the 80s. Which
Yeah.
is so good.
Trampolines having no nets. Mom's writing your name on everything.
Trampolines
BMX
don't
seats
need
were
nets.
high. Music on cassettes. And skids were big.
I
Also, we
never-
get
I never knew about skids
I did.
before this episode. So I recently have been doing them all over the place because they're so cool and so awesome. And I did it once and I fell off my bike and I was in the middle of the road.
L.
But I didn't die. So poggers.
Poggers, I did die.
oh my god.
But
What a
skids
high
are
bar.
So cool. Skids are so cool. I do it whenever I can.
I used to do it, but I don't ride my
They
bike
leave
anymore because it's
marks.
too tiny for me. I grew a little
They
bit.
leave marks.
Also, we get introduced to Rich J, who is our like
Yeah.
example of literally everything.
Yeah, Rich J, which is so weird how they just throw that character in and it's like, this is this character, Rich J.
This is
Like, the
the
design of
character
character
we
gave him a
will use
name.
to describe the 80s.
We will
Yeah.
throw him off of a trampoline,
Yeah.
right on all of his stuff, launch him out of his seat. I don't know, he didn't get launched out, but like, he couldn't even reach the
Mhm.
pedals, basically.
Yeah.
Poor kid. He got
He
80'd.
didn't do the skids though.
And then we get into the 80s children doing skids.
The 80s
The 80s,
children.
is this what we're going to refer to him as? The 80s
Yes,
children.
the 80s gang, the 80s healers. That's what
80s music just starts playing.
Dun, dun, dun. The music in this episode is so good.
Oh yeah.
I didn't notice the music. Once again, I don't notice the music, and I have to go back
It was
and watch
so
the episode.
significant.
How do you not notice the music in the episode?
Because after I go back and watch the episode, I'm like, dang, you're right. But I'm focusing on like the characters and what they're saying.
That's
That's
fair.
mainly what I focus on. So I
Okay,
kind of just
that's
drown
fair.
out the
I
rest.
guess you're paying attention at least.
I'm paying
then-
I'm paying attention to the episode. It's
Yeah.
just that the music's in the background, and that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be in the background, and so I kind of, just tune it out and listen to the
Yeah.
dialogue of itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Bandit rides his bike into the frame, does a skid, and then Rad does a skid, and does Stripe do a skid?
No.
No.
Because has a skill issue.
You can't.
he can't ride a
skid
bike.
Because
Stripe.
he's a younger child.
He's a younger child, right? He's younger. Poor thing.
And then Bandit is like, you can't skid Stripe.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. And Mom wants you.
Huh?
Major, look, you dirty chook.
The huh?
Suffer. That's a suffer, but I swear.
He says Safa
Oh, yeah. I guess he does.
accent.
And then they cut back to the present, and Bluey and Bingo are like kind of
Mortified.
shocked. They're like, "Wait a minute!
You were
You're
mean?
kidding. You're
You
not
are mean?
perfect.
Yeah, I know.
You were a kid once too.
You
no.
bullied people? You bullied your brother?"
Dang,
I
he was
love
actually
that.
kind of mean this episode though.
I
He
know.
sure
I love
was.
that fact though because everyone's like, "Oh, Bandit's the perfect dad. He's so good at everything," and then they show like some examples of him not being a perfect dad, but they're like, "Yeah."
But yeah,
And then they go
Ban-
back to his past, and he's learned from these mistakes. It's not just that he was born with it; he's learned from these mistakes
Yeah.
because of this time he spent with his siblings, which is such a good lesson for everyone to learn. No one's
I've
gonna
made
learn
a
it.
lot of mistakes, and I've learned a lot.
No
from
one's
them.
gonna
I've
learn
become a
it.
lot wiser because of the mistakes I've made.
same.
I know you said I've become a lot wiser because of the mistakes I've made, but I really thought you said I've become a lot wiser because of the steaks I've made. The steaks I've cooked. I got really wise.
Oh my gosh. These beautiful, perfectly seared steaks.
These medium rare.
These medium rare, well done steaks
Well done.
have made me
Got it.
wiser.
Well done.
I like mine well done. Oddly enough.
Oh,
No.
don't come to my house.
Yeah. It sometimes gives me hiccups. Like I kind of just start like choking on it, and then
Hiccups.
What?
yeah.
That's
I
not the
suddenly
same
just start
thing.
choking on it.
I
It's really
sometimes-
funny actually. I still like well done though, even though I almost die when I eat it.
Yeah, steaks.
yeah.
Some steaks.
And then Bandit was like, "Yeah, I told you this story was about a mean brother. Me."
I love that reveal.
I love that line. That was hilarious. And he said, "Don't worry. I was about to learn my lesson." And then Radley, being a good older brother, we flash back to the past. He's like, "Bandit, stop teasing Stripe."
Make me.
What was that voice?
I don't know.
This
I'm
is
trying
not.
to-
This is not Hansel and Gretel.
I was trying to mimic the voice. he
Like
was-
a
he
witch.
was saying.
Make me.
Make me.
Yeah. But yeah, he's being a brat.
He says, "Make me," and then follows it up with, "Hey, Stripe, your wheels are turning." In which case,
That sounds
Stripe,
wheels.
looks down at his wheels as he exits frames and then falls.
Oh, look at that. They are
Look
turning.
down at wheels and exit frame.
Hey, Owen, the Earth is spinning.
Yeah. Oh, what?
It is?
Whoa.
What? Haha, made you look, you dirty Chuck. Jinx!
And then I didn't know about this, but apparently back in the 80s, there was,
or at least in this
yeah,
rendition of.
in Australia in the 80s.
Well, I don't know, just in this.
The Australian 80s.
In
Like, that's the
Bluey,
thing.
Australia 80s.
All my all the different friend groups I met throughout the years in my life that I became a part of, all did Jinx slightly differently.
Yeah, that's like I think that's just like a universal thing.
So
like,
I mean, the way they did Jinx is.
I've never done the Jinx thing.
remember there was one you had to get slapped?
That sounds like fun.
I don't remember that.
Heck yes.
But me and
Mortal
my brother,
Kombat Jinx.
we don't do it too often anymore, but sometimes if we say the same thing on purpose, we made a bunch of different Jinxes. So we start with Jinx, double Jinx, triple Jinx, quadruple Jinx, quintuple Jinx, and then we go to foods for some reason. Pickle Jinx, carrot Jinx, cucumber Jinx, tomato Jinx, spaghetti Jinx, nachos Jinx, tacos
Nachos.
Jinx. There's a few more. And then once we stop jinxing, because we both are getting sick and tired of it, we say lockdown jinx to like lock it down forever. I don't know where we came up with that. It might have been, I don't know why, but I'm getting a vague
It just kind of
reference
works.
to the Ice Age, the movie. Just
Ice. That's oddly specific, bro. That was a throwback.
I don't remember why, but that's just in my mind right now. I think like Sid says it or something.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Sounds like something Sid would say.
He did say that.
Oh gosh, Ice Age. Who I love
I
Ice
go on a
Age.
ramble about
I
the
like
Ice Age.
too.
I mean, that's valid. Ice Age is good.
And I need, but here's the thing. A lot of people think it's not. So, the
It's
first
an
movie
icon
is
of
the
the
worst.
2000s.
Okay,
period.
no.
The first
Owen.
movie is the worst.
Owen.
I know it's a Bluey podcast, but come on. I mean, Ice Age.
Ice
I get it,
Age.
but like we talked about Ice
Elijah.
Age for like
Ice Age.
no
Ice Age Elijah.
Ice Age.
guys.
An absolute
Bluey.
icon of the 2000s/2010s.
I know, I loved it. It was great. Like one of my favorite movies.
The first one?
Who
Watched
doesn't
it
like to
quite
see a
a few
sloth get
times.
completely abused?
Oh, the squirrel.
The squirrel,
Two? The
Scrat.
Sloth.
Scrat.
Oh, Scrat.
I
Well,
love
Scrat, yeah.
Scrat the MVP.
Technically, he's a squirrel plus a rat. I don't know how that happened, but yeah,
Oh
genetics, I
wait,
guess.
Scrat. Yeah.
What a tangent.
Before that long rabbit hole. Bingo's like Bluey and Bingo are like, "What's Jinx?" Apparently, kids don't know what Jinx is anymore, but from my experience, they do. I think.
Mhm. Also, that's actually something else I wanted to mention because this is on topic. It's not Ice Age, I swear. But you know how the internet, that's how memes travel and trends and stuff.
Mhm.
What the heck? How the heck did people know the like little nursery rhymes and like patty cake and Jinx and stuff in the days where internet wasn't a thing and every school in the whole world knew about it? Like, how was that just a universal thing that everyone knew?
Word of tongue, word of mouth. That's how culture.
How?
That's exactly how cultures exist. Is because the reason why if you go over, you're in America, it's a completely different way of living than if you go over to say somewhere in Europe or somewhere in China or somewhere in Africa. Completely different. And so
Yeah.
there's common knowledge that is shared by word of mouth in certain places. That's why it. Of course, with the internet, it's becoming a little bit more widespread. That's called cultural diffusion. But, most of the time, it's isolated to a certain area. So maybe something that people will know about here wouldn't be known about, somewhere all the way in Africa, you know?
Yeah. But this is the thing, like, there's some things that are even known in Africa that are known in America.
It just kind of spreads, I guess. People
guess
travel. And then by word
Yeah,
of mouth, it
that's true.
travels and travels and just...
Elijah, you're
grows
not
and grows.
muted.
I know.
He's just
What do
vibing.
you-
He's singing.
What do you... What's
Singing
the song
Africa
you're
by
singing?
Toto.
Do,
Oh, I
do,
see.
do, 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 do.
We can't sing that legally,
We can.
but let's not.
Okay.
So, anyways, do you want me to take over for a bit?
No.
Okay.
I'll keep going a little bit longer. So I'm tired. And then Bandit explains what jinxing is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can go on now.
I'll go a little bit. I'll go a little bit further. Says one
I
sentence.
want
All
you to
right.
keep that pause. I want you to keep that
I'm
pause.
keeping
Please
that
keep
awkward
that in
pause.
there.
100%. I'm keeping all that. Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
Okay. So then we go back to the story world where Bradley is running away from Bandit because in these rules of Jinx, but during this running scene, we get an amazing montage of Bandit and Bradley running around the caravan park. Caravan RV, is that the same thing? That's the same thing, right?
Trailer park.
Trailer park.
I don't know. It's all the same thing.
I think caravan's the same as trailer. Anyway, we get an amazing scene of them going through this, and we get like just beautiful visuals, a lot of 80s vibes, retro
Oh yeah.
stuff, a lot of like chill people just, you know,
It feels
sitting
very
in their
80s.
sitting in their caravans. And I just love the fact that they're just walking over their property because like that was a thing that happened. And I remember doing that, not because I was in the 80s, but I remember I used to do that a lot when I went to those kind of trailer parks. It was like you were friends with everyone there and you made friends really quickly. Maybe that's just me because I'm super social and I made friends with everyone before.
I mean, what else
I
can you
don't
do at a
know.
trailer
I
What's
don't
park?
know
that
what
supposed to
happened.
mean? Hold up. You calling us not social?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying me as a person. I'm saying other people don't do that as much.
I mean,
I
that's
also
valid.
this
forgot to
part.
mention
Okay.
a very small thing. During the part where he says Jinx for the first time, they pause the story like a VHS tape,
Oh yeah,
which is
they
really
do.
cool
It's really cool.
and just a nice memory because even though I wasn't born when VHSs were like, prevalent, my parents, we watched most of our movies on VHSs.
Mhm.
So most of the best movies I have are on a VHS. Is it VHSs or VHS? VHS.
It's VHS, yeah. I think just like
Okay,
VHS is
VHS.
just like used like a blanket
Yeah.
term. Like, yeah, I have a
Yeah.
VHS, like a VHS player or a VH. Like, I have all these VHS tapes. I
Yeah,
guess
okay.
VHS tapes would be the
Mhm.
plural term.
But the most annoying part about a VHS is usually we'd finish the movie, right? And you'd have to go and rewind all the way back to the beginning, and that would take about 10 minutes sometimes, depending how long the movie was. So like Finding Nemo would take, I think it took like 8 minutes to rewind.
Mm.
I was a kid though, so it might have taken like 2 minutes, but you know, I ain't got patience. Still don't have patience. Um, but yeah, this is a lovely montage. And after this, we're back to like the bandit talking about the story, and it's like, and then I could never speak again, and the girls were like, "What? That's great." I don't know what they say. um, I don't know what they say. What exactly do they say? Oh, okay, hold on. They something I was like, "What? You can never speak forever and ever?" Nope, you were
You were
cursed.
cursed.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Elijah, do you want to take over? I realize I don't know anything about this episode.
Yeah, I can take over. So then Bandit goes on to explain like the rest of how Jinx works. The only way that you can speak again and and break the curse is if someone says your name, which I'm used to the rules where somebody has to say it 3 times in a row.
Your name 3 times in a row?
Yeah,
Never heard of that up till this episode.
yeah.
This scene is really
Isn't
cool though. Like the
And
scene.
then
You gotta remember the scene of this sin.
we kind of, yeah. Then we get to the montage of kind of Stripe teasing Bandit, like a bit of a reversal.
That's true.
So we see them playing at an arcade, which, by the way,
Yes. Oh my
Oh my
gosh, I love
God,
this
yes.
scene.
Me too.
That's
the
what I'm trying to get at.
arcade. Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Like
there's a long
the
dog.
effects here,
Oh yeah,
top tier.
Yeah, the effects here are so good. But the long dog, there's a long dog.
There is a
in
long
the little
dog,
Oh
cannon
yes, there is a
display.
long dog.
looks like a really long eraser.
It's like an eraser or something.
Yeah.
But like
Bubblegum.
there's something else about this is that they do something that they wouldn't even do in most movies. They show the reflection of the screen.
It's like
Yeah,
perspective,
they
like it's
show-
inside
yeah.
the screen, but you can see like the reflection of the screen
Yeah,
on
that's
that. Yeah,
really
it's very
cool.
cool.
That's like so cool. I love
But
that
yeah,
so much.
Stripe is kind of teasing Bandit. He's like, "Do you want me to say your name?" And then Bandit like eagerly nods. He's like, "Okay, Banditums." And he has this he has this really cute like little chuckle giggle at the
He's
end.
holding the
It's just a
power. He
ha.
likes it.
And then he cuts back to the present. And this is like one of the most mysterious parts. Is like where Bluey asks, "Can't you just say your own name?" And Bandit's like, "Nope, you are not allowed to speak at all." Like, what happens if you speak? Bandit's like, "Oh, well, I shouldn't tell you, but." And he
then
whispers
Bandit
something,
whispers
and nobody
something.
knows what it is other than the kids. And they're
It
really
was
shocked.
horrible.
And Bingo's like, "That's terrible."
I told you.
And Bandit's like, "I told you,
The
the 80s was a wild place."
Yeah.
I'm concerned about what he told them.
Yeah, what is like you'll die.
Or like
You'll die.
you'll explode, or you'll never be able to eat fish and chips again, or something like that. I don't know.
We cut back to them in a fishing. So this is where like the montage like really kicks off. They're in a fish and chip shop, and we get Bandit voicing over saying, "Being cursed on vacation, very unfun." Except I reworded it because I felt like it. Anyways, so
Being
then
cursed, no fun.
Chris, 80s Chris, aka Nana, modern day Nana.
With
The kids, do you want your fish battered or crumbed? And Radley and Stripe both say battered because all the kids like battered. But then Bandit can't say anything. So Chris is impatient. And she's like, "How about you? Come on, speak up." And Radley just speaks for him, and he says he wants crumbs. And Chris is okay. And then we learn that like Bandit's frantically like trying to cancel the order.
Like no,
No.
that's not it.
And then we learned that he completely hates crumbs. And also Stripe teases him again by almost saying his name. He actually
Dishwasher.
says dishwasher. Little hat at the end is hilarious.
Well, ha.
Ha.
He's enjoying this a little bit too much.
He is. And then we cut to a really interesting part at the beach house.
Oh
Where-
yeah.
Where Chris comes out and she's like, "Who ate all that mini cereals?" "He did." And Radley and Stripe both point to Bandit.
Yeah. So
And
who
then
do you
she
think actually
chases
did it?
him with a flip flop.
We gotta mention something about this cereal though. This very
Yes,
special
we do.
cereal.
We do have to kind of mention something about the
So-
cereal.
If you've been listening to the podcast, you've probably listened to the episode where we interviewed the Chris Bennett, animator for Bluey and maker of Happy Place.
Yes. Gosh, I love that
So-
show. I need to watch that episode again. So good.
During the interview, he mentioned the fact that the cereal box in this scene, one of the animators asked if they could make it a super fruity Happy Crunch box, but for legal reasons, he didn't exactly know.
Not
I
legal
think.
reasons, but just for like
He wanted it to be as
Just
loose
in
as possible,
case.
so that like
Yeah.
just in
because
case
of like
he wanted
legality,
it to
like
be loose.
since it is owned by BBC, like he didn't want
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that's what it was. It was BBC.
property
yeah.
to be owned
Yeah,
by.
yeah.
Or is it
So
BBC?
the design
It is BBC,
on
right?
So it's a very close.
ABC.
reference to Super Fruity Happy Crunch.
I believe, like, quote, he wanted it to be as close as possible to the real thing,
Without
but
being
without being it. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And they did pretty well by making it like a chocolate flavor.
Yeah, like,
I think-
now that I know that information, like, oh yeah, I see what you mean. Like, yeah, I can definitely tell it does
Like that's Bentley.
look
That's
like,
a
yeah.
Bentley on the cover.
Bentley.
I think isn't that the name of the koala?
No,
Oh,
absolutely not.
Bailey.
Bailey.
Oh, close enough.
Bentley.
Give me a break.
Bentley's
Bentley?
Bentley's one of Bingo's
That's close enough.
classmates.
I was like, yeah. I'm like, wait, hold up, Bentley.
Wait, who is
Who is
Bentley
this
now?
Bentley? Bentley is
Is it
the dog
classmate of
and
Bingo's, right?
Oh, Bentley's the one that picks his nose.
No, that's
No,
someone else.
that
Bentley's
is-
like I have like an image in my head. He's like a little fluffy dog. Bentley, Bentley.
Yeah.
He's a Bluey character.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the one in
She's
the one in monkey in bike. Bike
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
climbing the monkey bars.
Yep.
Anyways.
Anyhow.
I think Bentley's a he, but I don't know.
No, it's a she.
No,
Really?
it's the she.
Yeah,
I
it's a
don't know.
she.
Blue. Okay. Anyways, picking up where we left off. Blue's like, gee, Nana was a bit mean. Yeah, it was the 80s. Moms were allowed to be mean. It's funny.
Chunkless.
It's
Chunkless
funny.
attack.
Okay. I'm gonna pass this off to you, Owen, again.
Oh, okay.
Passing the baton.
This part's very interesting because we see Bob, which we never see ever except in one episode. But this is actually in the past, so technically we still
This
haven't
is
seen
young
him.
Bob.
Yeah, it's young Bob. And he's just I don't know what he's doing. Is he like
He's
He's like I guess he's like
he's
plowing the ground?
he's collecting shrimp.
Shrimp.
yeah.
And yeah, using
It
a
says on the wiki that it's like something called a yabby pump, which I guess like picks up like shrimp and
yeah, it's a pump for
Yeah.
getting ghost shrimp.
so
Okay.
that's probably like he's probably getting that to like sell for later.
Mhm.
No,
really
for
like the
dinner. They're
sand
on
area.
vacation.
Or
It's
for dinner,
probably for
yeah.
vacation.
And then
Could be either.
Vacation
I think-
foods.
I think Stripe and Bradley do the most brotherly thing ever, and they just let's see who can shout the loudest.
That's so
It's
real.
like so
oh my
like
gosh.
real. I'm like, wow.
It's like, how do we show that these kids are being annoying to their father
How can we show that
without
these
being
kids
too
are actually
obvious-
kids?
Without being
Like,
the
it's
most
so
obvious they
accurate,
can
like-
actually be.
Working in like a child care, I'm just like, yeah, that happens. Just
Yeah.
let's see who can do this.
Sometimes I
And I'm
join
like,
in too.
and I
No,
just like
there was a
walk
while
over.
in my life where I just would scream really loud,
Yeah, exactly.
random intervals.
Just random.
Yeah.
Just random. Why not?
Because it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Then it's not.
And then
Not just
Bandits.
sing. Same thing.
Bandits walks up to Bob. Bob.
Bob.
What's
Bob.
his name?
Bob.
The dad,
Bob.
I guess. His dad.
Bob.
Bob.
Okay,
Bob.
Bob.
It's
Okay.
Bob.
Bob.
And I love this part because it just shows you how much he cares about the entire situation. What do you want, Stripe? Brad, Gerald, whatever your name is.
Gerald.
And
Who is
there's-
this Gerald?
Who's
Oh.
Gerald?
So this is probably the most vague Bluey theory I've heard.
No, we're not
Ever.
talking about it.
It's such a stupid theory. It cannot be. Yeah. The Bluey community will theorize about literally anything, and sometimes,
will.
okay, these theories are right
A
because
yellow
they are
spot
backed
on
up.
Bandit's back is
It
actually
actually
Skin
indicates
cancer.
it's actually skin cancer. It is
Why
a
did they-
melanoma, I believe is what it's called. It's
Yep,
the melanoma.
Squamous.
Squamous.
leave that in.
That's pretty funny. It's
Okay.
like there's some like grounds to a lot of theories. Like
Mhm.
there's some like ties in that even we found in the podcast. That's like, oh yeah, this definitely is it, but because it has
And then
evidence to back
there's
it
some
up.
that are just like,
That's like-
no.
Gerald,
There's just
the
people-
long lost son.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So Bandit obviously wants Bob to say his name because he wants to speak. And the kids, by kids I mean both Stripe and Radley, let him know that's the case. And the dad's not very helpful. He's like, "Oh, you want me to say your name so you can talk?" And it's like, "Well, you're dreaming.
You're
I should,
dreaming. You know
I
what
should."
I call this? A good start. How do I jinx the rest of you? Is it like this? Ooh.
What
Moves
was
his
that?
hand over them.
Yeah, what
Great.
was that?
That's hilarious.
I don't know who the voice actor for him is, but it's
For
so
Bob?
good. I love.
I'll
Yeah,
check.
it's so good.
I don't know. That's just so like
Okay.
super famous, and we're just like, oh wow, dang.
It's gonna be someone
Oh.
super famous.
Okay, hold on.
Sam Simmons.
Why does
Sam
that name sound
Simmons.
familiar?
That does sound familiar. Why does it sound familiar?
Sam Simmons. He probably like won 7 Oscars or something.
Maybe because his name is Sam. I don't know. Sam's a pretty common name.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's
Wait,
an
who
Australian
is he?
comedian. He's
I've
an
seen
Australian
him
comedian.
before. Where
Oh
is
my
he in?
gosh,
Go
is
to
he
his
actually so
IMDb.
well known?
Go
Ain't
to
no
his
way,
IMDb
boy.
page. Go to his IMDb page. Go to his IMDb page.
Ain't no way he's actually like someone.
Bluey, yeah, there it
Yeah,
is.
Bluey, of course. Bob. One episode. Peppa
Nah.
Pig.
Pig.
Peppa Pig.
Nah.
Interesting.
And Bandit's kind of sad now because he's realizing no one's gonna say his name.
Yeah, so we're like sunset on a beach.
Yeah, exactly. And then Nana comes up, and before anything, Bandit's like wagging his tail. It's like, "Oh, can you
I'm
please say my
not
name?"
gonna say your name.
And he's immediately disappointed.
Aw. Like, oh,
I
I have
think
a
you should say
chance.
this. Yeah, I think
No,
you
you
should
don't,
say this
buddy.
part, Elijah. I think you should say this part because I think you'll word it the best.
You're so good with words.
I
You
am.
really are. You really are. That's why you say the intro
true.
always.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful voice.
Hold on, where is it? Hold on. Just gotta make sure I get my. So basically, when he goes back to being sad and down, his mom's like, I think this will do you some good because you've been teasing Strape all vacation. This is good. This is a good way to learn your lesson.
That is
And
true.
then we cut to a flashback of in the vacation of every single time he teased Stripe.
That's true. Yeah, he's done it a couple of times.
He did it a lot of times.
He's been
How
kind of.
long
He's
were they
been
at
kind of
this
mean.
place for?
Yeah,
Probably like a week or probably just like a span of like a week.
that's probably
Yeah, I
Honestly.
guess so.
week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
Maybe 2 weeks, yeah. But not like months and months on end. It's just like,
Yeah,
you know. And there's a lot of opportunities to tease your siblings, that's for sure.
True.
this is a chance for you to have a good think about it, she says. And
She's right.
then, this is my favorite line.
You said that about a million other lines this episode.
Well, okay, this is my really. And then Bandit says, Nana was right. Not about her perm, but about me. I hadn't been a very good brother to Stripe. I deserve to be cursed.
That's such a
Kinda
great
sad.
line.
It's a really sad line because I feel bad. I feel bad for everybody.
Hey, learning
Why do you
from
feel bad?
mistakes
He's
is good.
being-
He's
I
learned
know
from his
he's
mistakes.
learning from his mistakes, but I feel bad because he was sad.
But he was being a jerk. He deserves it. And I like how he
And
acknowledges
he's learning
that
from
he
it
knows that.
as well,
Exactly.
which is good.
Most people be like, I don't deserve
So-
this.
Now we get to like our kind of falling action where it's like,
Mhm.
where Bingo asks, so when did the curse get broken? The next morning, actually, Bandit says. He was on his way to the shower block to clean your teeth. To clean his teeth, not your teeth. That'd be-
He was on the way
I
to
didn't
clean
hear
your
it.
teeth.
That's on his
specifically
way to clean
yours.
your teeth.
Goodness, watch out for the teeth tickler. He will tickle your teeth.
What? And he said, and then another. This is great because now Bingo's learned here. Because Bluey says, all by yourself, and Bingo responds with, it was the 80s.
She's figured it out by now.
Yeah, she's figured it out.
Forget
Also,
about
he's
it.
10 at this point. Like, he should be able to go by himself, I feel like.
Yeah. Also, it was the 80s.
Also, it was
Yeah,
the 80s.
exactly.
Yeah,
It was the
exactly.
80s.
So then, what happens is Stripe ends up trying to take a shortcut and gets stuck in like prickles, like a thorny
hmm
grass of some
You know what
sort.
would prevent this?
Shoes.
Shoes would help.
Jinx.
Jake, dang it.
Specifically,
Did
thongs.
better. And he can no longer talk the entire episode. He's
Yeah,
like,
so he got stuck in the weeds, and they were thorny and prickly. So Bandit stumbles across him, and he's yelling out for help. And so the presumed thing that Bluey and Bingo think he's gonna do is like kind of be like,
Just
say
leave
my
him.
name and I'll help you.
Or that, yeah.
mm-hmm.
But Bandit's like, I could have, but
I didn't.
I actually just helped him.
That's so good.
And then
Learning from your mistakes. There we go.
even when
Exactly.
Stripe like kind of even when he helps Stripe, and Stripe's like, thanks, Bandina, and doesn't actually say Bandit's name.
But he's just kind of fine with that.
He's kind of fine with that,
Yeah.
and he even says it himself that he was a little proud.
I love that part
Just
so
like-
much.
To tell you the truth, I was proud of him, and that's like, oh, that's so
I know.
cute.
There's so many chill moments in this episode, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
just
like, yeah, it was the 80s.
goosebumps.
But the princess
And
of
then
this fairy tale.
See, yeah, Bingo's like, but then who broke the curse? Bandit's like, well, remember, I said this fairy tale has a princess.
And a princess it did have.
Bandit Healer. Off screen, says a voice. And then we see young Chili standing there,
Presumably young Chili.
presumably.
It's a fairy tale. Who knows
Probably.
if it's true or not?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Even she doesn't
Hold
know.
Yeah,
Pause.
exactly.
And
Even
look at the wiki,
pause.
it says She-Ra costume.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
it.
looks like
The
it.
She-Ra
Yeah.
costume. That's what it is. Yeah,
And
I
she-
think that's a reference to something.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, She-Ra
They
is a
talked
reference
about that
to
on-
She-Ra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember a lot of podcasts talking about that. And by a lot, I mean the Hammer Barn Project.
I
Others
remember a
probably
lot of
did.
podcasts talking about it.
Yeah, so she's holding the hat in her hand, and she's like, "Is this your hat?" And they're like, "Was that Mom?"
And it's like, that's Mum.
That's and then Chili's like, "Don't listen to him. It wasn't me." And it's like, "Don't listen to her. It was."
It was.
He's telling silly stories again.
Yeah.
Well, look, we did used to go on holidays on that caravan park.
Case
Case
closed.
closed.
Yeah.
But I've got no memory of that happening. Oh, it's like a dagger in my heart.
He's
I
so
mean,
good.
to be fair, when you're 10, you don't remember. Well, I forgot a lot of things from what
That's-
happened
I
when
forget
was
a lot of
10.
things.
I forgot a lot of things,
I'm-
period. What did I have
a
for
lot of
breakfast today?
The thing is, when I was 8 to like 12, those years mixed together.
Oh, yeah, a
so
little bit.
I don't know what age I was when. Like, I can't remember anything that happened in grade 7. Oh my god, that was a snooze fest.
I feel like I kind of started to like, kind of like 11th, not 11th, 11 years old. Like when I was like 11 years old, it kind of started to like,
Yeah.
stuff started to not like blend together. And as I like kept getting a little bit older, like 12, 13, I'm like, okay, yeah, now my memories are a lot more distinct. I like realize what's going on here. And of course, high school, we all,
Yeah. I kind of remember all of that stuff.
yeah.
School's been going by really quickly for me recently.
Has been-
It has
Anyway,
been. Oh boy.
Not...
We'll talk about that later. Outside the podcast.
Yeah.
The Cry Fest.
Not cry fest, but we just like to talk about things.
And cry.
Don't you dare cry on me.
I don't know.
I will cheer you up.
Later. Show no emotion till later.
Show no emotion. We'll show a lot of emotion later. All right, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And then Bingo was like, "How did you know your name?" And then we have full circle. It was written on my hat.
I love that part so much. And it cuts back
Yeah.
to the episode and shows
And
a
so
zoom in on
everybody
their
enjoys
hat.
the story, including Chili. And Louie's like, "But is it true or not true? I need to know."
Well,
Bandit
I guess you
is
decide.
like,
Yeah.
"Yep.
Do you
Do you
believe in fairy tales?
tales?"
Yeah.
We have a wait before this though. We have a really pretty shot of the moon. Like
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
yes, we
so
really
pretty.
do.
I remember seeing
Really
it and being
pretty.
like, dang.
And
That's
then
pretty
it goes,
cool.
and then it goes back into the 80s. Chili hands, alleged Chili hands him his hat. And then we get the line from her, "See you later." And Bandit follows it up with, "Yeah, see you later."
Oh, so
End
such a good
credits.
episode.
Amazing music.
Amazing music, amazing
I
episode.
need to listen to the music. I do need
I don't know
to.
what I don't know why this music's not music. I don't know why this episode is so good, but it's like it's
I
just so
do.
good.
It shows like Bandit as a kid. Like there's a lot, and like the lesson for it is great. Like it really is.
So I've said everything on my checklist. Do you guys have anything left to say?
Huh?
We do
What?
have to rate the episode.
We
Yeah,
do.
so I
we
was
do
gonna
rate 'em.
We
say that.
probably
Mhm.
missed some Easter eggs.
We definitely
We
missed
do
a
need
lot
to
of
go
We
through
Easter
those.
eggs.
definitely missed some Easter eggs.
There's a lot of
Um,
80s references to stuff we
lot of
don't
eight-
know because we are not.
Yeah.
We should
didn't
have my
live that
dad
era.
on the podcast.
Exactly. That would have been That would have been a good
That would
idea.
have been entertaining. Okay.
So, guys, what would you give this episode on a scale of 1 to 10?
9. Actually,
Yeah.
10. 10.
Yeah,
I'm
mine's a
going 10.
9.
I'm
Mine's a
going
9
10.
as well. I don't know why this episode's just so
Um,
good.
Honestly,
Are you gonna be the odd one out? That's really cringe, man. That's
so
really
I've been
uncool.
if you've checked like the Twitter account, I've been ranking them on like a scale from like my scale of like
Have you
1
been
to
doing
10.
that?
I have life's been busy, okay? But I've been trying to, yeah, I've been trying to go through all the episodes slowly but surely. And so like I'll get like chunks done bit by bit. But my scale is like my least favorite episode, which is Bad Mood, to my most favorite, which is Sleepy, or
Mhm.
no, my most favorite. I would say worst episode of best episode, like what episode's like kind of bad and what episode's kind of good.
Uh-huh.
And for me, it's not my favorite episode, but Sleepy Time is objectively the best episode.
Correct.
On a scale from like Bad Mood to Sleepy Time, it would have to be probably a 7, because episodes I would
That's
put above
fair.
it.
That's
Maybe
fair,
maybe
but
even
that's
an 8.
very low.
Maybe even an 8.
8. It's got to
Yeah.
be 8. Because
know.
you gave 7 to like the decider.
You did.
Okay,
I'm
yeah, I'll
sorry,
give it
this
an
is
8.
not
This
as
is
good as-
arguably better than the
I'll
This
give
is
it an
way
8.
better
Yeah,
than
it's
the
an 8.
Decider.
It's an
Way.
8. Or yeah, it's an 8. It's an
So
8.
we have an average score of 9.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. 9 out of 10. I'm pretty sure this episode is actually in the top 10s on IMDb.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
As it should be.
I can check.
I
Hold on.
want more. I want more old
I want more.
80s.
I want more Young Bandit.
I want a lot more Young Bandit. That was like such like
They
it was so much
probably
fun.
won't, but
They
it'd
might.
be
I
nice
don't
if they
know.
did. I don't
Maybe
know.
Young Chili because
Young
we don't
Chili?
know a
Young
lot.
Chili would be fun.
That'd be cool. We kind of got a little bit of that in Granddad, but not much. Obviously,
We got
It's just, like,
that
We got a
one
very small
scene.
snippet.
And we get to like see a little bit of like
Yeah.
reveal
okay.
like
So
the relationship of her and her dad. You know.
Mhm. So Fairytale is ranked 8th out of 10th in the best episodes in Bluey on IMDb.
I see.
Also, I'd like to mention that the episode Sleepy Time has now had a new profile banner, which is always a good thing, meaning that it's actually moving up. I think they do that whenever it moves up. Flat Pack is in 11th, which is a sin, but we're not going to talk about that now.
Okay, if we're talking about Flat Pack being 11th,
Oh
then
God,
that's
no,
how
we're not.
that's
We're not.
criminal.
We're not. We're not.
Barky
we're not.
Boats is 140. That is the true crime. Barky Boats is 114 or something like that.
Yeah, I know. That's
Anyways,
ridiculous.
before we get into any other rants, that's all I have.
Yeah, that's all I have.
That's pretty much all I have as well. Yeah.
But as always, I'm Elijah,
I'm Aiden.
And I'm Owen.
and this has been the Around the Creek podcast.
Jinx. Yeah.